Hello and welcome back to Cast of the Whills. I'm your host Will, and with me is my amazing co-host Amelia.
Hi.
We have just come back from the premiere in Australia, except for the preview they had the other night, for the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Midnight screening.
Midnight screening, so it's currently 3 a.m. when we're recording this, or we're getting a bit tired now. I could feel the movie. But let's just get straight into it. So firstly, we'll just give our overall spoiler-free thoughts, and then move into the spoilers for the movie. So I think my first impression straight after the movie is it's what people expect. It's a lot of fun, but it's not this massive, oh my God, this defines how Star Wars is forever. It isn't a numbered movie like 7, 8, 9 where it's like, this is defining the trajectory of the franchise, but it's still a fun adventure worth seeing. I think the vibes you get from the trailer are very reflective in the movie. I think there's good character moments, really engaging sequences, and the music is fantastic. Not that was
expected.
A surprise, but the music was really good by Ludwig once again. I think that's my real overall general...
Your elevator pitch.
Yeah,
for
very
the movie.
elevator high level. We can get into more non-spoilery ideas, but that's like my tagline review. What are your thoughts? Like just straight out of the gate, spoiler-free thoughts.
I think if you're, like I could say, a modern fan, like if you like the sequels or the TV shows, I think you'll really enjoy this.
Interesting.
If you're a bit of a original trilogy purist, perhaps you might not.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, that is to say. You get a lot of Grogu. He's definitely a titular character.
He is a lead.
I appreciated that.
He is definitely a main character. He isn't window dressing like some people have complained before. He is. He has.
He's earned his place. Yeah,
which is really good. And that's something I was really interested with this movie. Was they said they wanted to also appeal to people who haven't seen anything Star Wars before. And I guess you're in that weird precipice where you haven't really seen much Star Wars until a few years ago, but you've seen everything now, so you're probably more
in between those two
than I am. Do you think if someone who hasn't seen any Star Wars before, like, they don't even know about Darth Vader and Palpatine and the relationship with Luke, could they see this movie and still enjoy it? Obviously, you wouldn't get the full understanding of what every character dynamic means and arcs and all that, but is there enough, do you think, to sustain a new fan to maybe be interested in looking into other content, or even just to enjoy the movie on its own?
I think that you can watch it without prior context. The context for this movie just kind of makes it better.
Yeah.
Like, this is a bit of a silly example, but with the little, like, bad baby.
Yeah, the Intellians. Yeah.
I was like, you don't need to know who they are. They're still kind of funny.
Fair,
but I guess if you've seen them before and then seen them again, I almost feel like those characters developed. Maybe we'll get into that later.
True,
but you don't need to know where they've come from, for example. Like, they're still just a funny side character.
Definitely.
The only real through line, I think, is Jabba the Hutt. The rest you can kind of...
Yeah, you probably need to know a bit about the Hutts.
Yeah.
And I know they try to help the audience a bit if you haven't, but I once again don't think you'd get the full richness.
You could still kind of figure out that he was like the head of a crime syndicate who has since passed away and his heir is missing. Like that's all in the preamble for the movie.
Yeah.
You get more from that storyline by knowing who he is, though.
Yes.
Otherwise, the rest you can fill in. Like, you can work out, I guess, rebels, good guys, Empire, bad guys. Yeah.
I think something I found interesting, so when we saw the first 25 minutes and we talked about that, we brought up the pacing of the movie. I think there was like the first 25 minutes is insane pacing in a good way. I liked it. But then I felt the movie as it went on, I wouldn't say slow down a bad way, but it definitely took its time to breathe a bit more.
Do you reckon?
Once it got, I think we won't get into the spoilers, but I think once we got to certain sequences, I think the movie went, all right, we've established what we are doing, and now we can really take our time to breathe and explore these things. Having said that, I would say in absolute terms, it's a fast-paced movie, but within the movie relatively, there's some really fast-paced moments.
Yeah.
And then there's like, not so fast-paced, but in any movie, it would still be a pretty, like, they're going along with this movie. I think something else to maybe be aware, like, everyone's expected this was, this isn't a groundbreaking, shattering, Luke Skywalker defeats Thrawn in this movie and Ahsoka and Anakin have a Clone Wars flashback. Like, it isn't that isn't the movie.
But I'm glad that it's not.
I'm glad that it isn't, because once again, you need to allow new people to connect with it. And I think sometimes Star Wars, you need I use this term very lightly and in the nicest way possible, a non-consequential fun adventure.
Yeah,
that
that's
isn't
fair.
mandatory viewing. And I think there's still, we'll get into spoilers once again, but there's still some events where like, if they follow these threads, these could have real impacts on the future stories. But I think I kind of enjoy the action adventure movie that it is, where it isn't a
kind of standalone,
doesn't shift the status quo too much, but still quite enjoyable. I think another thing you can really tell is the care put into this movie. You can tell the people that made this cared about the Mandalorian, but they also cared about the originals and the prequels a lot. And you could feel it a lot in like the set design and the character design, and they talked about it a lot during the marketing, but about the practical effects. And there are certain action sequences where you feel this is a real thing on screen, and they said they were able to do that because they had the time to work on it. So I think you can really feel the care and love through the screen. So I'm trying to think, is there many? It's hard to do spoiler-free segments because I feel like usually they're just like quite brief. You just kind of go, I like these things and whatnot. Is there anything else to quickly tick off on our spoiler-free
Trying
thoughts?
to think of scenes that are in the trailer, if I can like pick out those scenes and comment on them without giving context.
I guess maybe if I can ask this, probably your because I know some people have different ratings for these. I'll ask what your spoiler-free rating is, and then later ask for your spoiler rating, because sometimes people change their ratings between the two. So what would your out of 10 your spoiler-free rating be, or even just your rating?
I don't know if my rating would change, but I feel like maybe like an 8 out of 10 for me.
And then once again, to split it again, your rating as a movie and a rating as a Star Wars movie, are they the same or are they different?
Okay, my objective rating is like 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, I'm very much, if I enjoyed the movie, it's a 10.
Yeah.
Like, it can be the silliest movie. I'm not saying this one was, but just in general, like, a movie can be like terrible and I could love it and it could be a 10 out of 10.
Okay, yeah, fair.
So like in terms of my enjoyment, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think maybe the only thing holding me back from that would be that I'm a little bit tired, but
that is fair. Yeah,
like worth it, well worth it.
No, I know, but when you get to this point where you're
but you know, if you're not up at 3 a.m. after seeing it, you might enjoy it more. As much as I love being up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Objectively, like I think 8.
Yep.
Star Wars, it's very standalone. To me, The Mandalorian is kind of separate.
Yeah. Like
I know there's through lines with Ahsoka and then Thrawn and Luke in the Book of Boba Fett training. Like I know it's interwoven, but for the most part, they're kind of telling their own story within this like galaxy that they've built.
Yeah.
So if I'm rating it based on that kind of like mindset, I still think it's very good, like 8 plus.
Yep.
But if I'm meant to be viewing it as like a numbered movie, maybe closer to 6 because it's non-consequential.
No,
but
that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What about you for all those questions?
I think overall as a movie, I think like a 6 out of 10, which that doesn't mean it's bad or anything, but it's
3
decent.
stars.
I think it gets an effective story told, but I never was really invested in it. Like I never was in the movie going, I'm in the movie. I was always like, oh, I'm watching the Mandalorian and Grogu film right now. I was never like really into the movie, and maybe it's because like, you know, they're not going to kill certain characters. Like I think you know the stakes, what the status quo will be at the end. And yeah, I think it was a fun adventure and I enjoyed it. So that's why I think it's a Star Wars movie gets a 7. Because I think it was within the Star Wars world, the new things we get to see fit in the context of Star Wars.
Yeah.
The old things are, respected well. There's a good mix of, when we see this in the trailers, like the droids and Nal Hutta, that's like a nice, you can point to a head and go, oh, that's like a super battle droid, that's L337. And we get to the spoilers, I'll tell you one more head I noticed. So I think the 6 out of 10, it's not a bad 6 out of 10. I just think it was an enjoyable movie. I just didn't walk out of it going, oh, wow, this is a movie that people are going to, really be getting into and talking about for decades to come. Like a numbered movie, for example, but inherently a numbered movie can do a bit more
the stakes are different.
Legwork, and they can probably tell a grander story, whereas this is really trying to tell
a trilogy.
Self-contained story. So that is my rating. I think that's our spoiler-free segment.
Probably not much more you can get into.
I think, yeah. So should we just get into the spoilers?
Wait, you can, if this is a spoiler, you can rearrange this. But
Yes.
Does the audience know that the snow scene comes first?
Oh, people heavily suspect it. It wasn't a surprise. And
Okay.
I think because we saw the beginning footage. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
come?
I really like that opening sequence.
Yeah,
I
wish
thought that was done
maybe
really well.
Extended a bit more. I think we'll get into maybe in spoilers, but there were parts of it maybe rewatching it.
Yeah.
I was thinking
same.
we really could have drawn this out a bit more, and it could have been a bit more interesting seeing an Imperial remnant with AT-ATs. I mean, fight. So is that a good segue to our spoiler
I reckon.
segment? So right now, if you're somehow watching and you didn't realize that we're getting into our spoiler segment and you're planning on seeing this movie and you don't want spoilers, stop watching now, but make sure you come back to this one after you've seen the movie. So I'm going to wave around on screen.
You can't miss it.
You can't miss it. Please stop watching this video, but make sure you come back afterwards.
Yeah. And for those of you who've seen it, welcome back.
Welcome back. Just keep watching. So my first spoilery thing to say is, this isn't even like a important thing. There are 0 cameos, and people were really people were thinking Clone Wars cameo.
Yeah.
Callus, maybe Thrawn, Luke Skywalker was a big one because they're
Rumored?
like, to connect, bring back.
Yeah.
Not Bo-Katan, not the Armorer, no Boba Fett, no Fennec Shand.
Yeah, true. You were
Right, I was really
mentioning
thinking
them. Yeah.
Fennec Shand would make an appearance
Because
so she could be
the
a nice
actress was
connective
on
tissue.
the red carpet.
She
is that what you
was,
said?
but I
Yeah.
just thought that's a character where she's not like this is a commitment. It's more like we can bring her in and she can be like a nice connective tissue from the shows. But yeah, and I think the other thing is there's no real status quo shift beyond, and this is what I said, if they follow up on it, the Hutts have now been decimated.
Like eliminated,
The
basically.
heads of the Hutt family have been killed.
And the
Most
other
of the
head
Hutts-
has
yeah,
changed
most
teams
of the other Hutts that were inside Nal Hutta, I assume, got blown up.
in the explosion.
And
Yeah.
like you were saying, the one Hutt left over is working for the New Republic. So from what I can tell, I think the Hutt crime family is meant to be the biggest crime syndicate in the galaxy. So that's a major blow to the criminal underworld. And I don't know if we're going to get a follow-up on that insane update in that side of the galaxy. But I think it hopefully is eventually addressed. Actually, some cameos we got. Sorry, now my brain's going over it. Some cameos we got Deborah Chow, who directed the Obi-Wan series and a few episodes of Mandalorian, and Doug Chang, who has been a concept artist since Phantom Menace, and he's been doing everything since then. He was also in it, and some other directors of episodes there in the New Republic bar, where they just throw every cameo possible in that bar.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll try us to kind of go
Like,
in order of movie, but let's
chronologically,
just talk. So the opening sequence, I think when I was rewatching it, knowing it was fast paced and knowing it was quick, I think we could have got a bit more struggle for Mando to take down each AT-AT. I think it was maybe a little bit too easy, because when you think back to the Battle of Hoth about how AT-ATs are these intense, terrifying units that blow up shield generators and rebels are running away from it, Mando took them out very quickly.
Is that meant to be a testament to his strength?
Yeah,
though?
I know. I get what you're saying, but if all it took was a few explosives on the legs, I'm sure the rebellion had a plethora of explosives.
But I think it was also the context. Like, they were on a cliff. So it's like, it wouldn't have...
no,
if it was on flat ground, the leg wouldn't have taken it out. But it was the fact that the unit, like, tripped and then fell off a cliff.
Maybe. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And they'd be old. I assume they'd be old.
By that point,
if they're Imperial
Okay,
remnants.
I'll give you that. I think rewatching it, I did appreciate our first scene with Mando when he's like in the dark hallway.
Yeah, I was thinking that's a good introduction for people who haven't
I was thinking
met
that,
the
because
character.
I was trying to watch that scene because we'd seen it before. I was like, I'm going to watch the first 25 minutes as if I know nothing. And I think it did effectively introduce the character. And I loved the moment when he's shooting through all the troopers in the AT-AT.
Yeah.
And you see the commander go... Because I think that was the first thing they showed at the celebration trailer, was that sequence of him shooting all the people and then the commander being like, and then they cut to other footage. So I quite like that. And so what we get to next, and this is obviously a big talking point.
Well, if you're still talking about the snow scene.
Yeah, no, please, yeah.
I almost feel like that could have been the whole movie.
There could have been a compelling
Like, if
movie there.
if that warlord got away, I could have seen him being like the big bad and that being the entire
that could have made
storyline.
sense. Yeah, have that
And
cold
then
open.
now that we're in the spoiler section, like that was like what 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, and then it's just completely.
I know.
No, like it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It was just like I went in and that kind of set my expectations, and then 10 or less minutes later, I've already been like surprised by what's happening.
Yeah. I think I'm going to jump ahead a bit here, so you take me backwards if you want. I think because we already addressed this in our other video at the beginning. I was really surprised how good Rod of the Hutt was as a character, and especially the performance. I was really expecting it to be kind of like okay-ish and a bit weird and uncanny valley and you can't connect, but they made Rod a somewhat sympathetic character that you kind of like
highly sympathetic. Like I cared.
But I was surprised how much like I found myself caring for him, because his whole character is he's trying to get out of Jabba's shadow of being feared and he wants to be, cheered for.
His own being.
He wants to be his own being. Kind of similar to Boba Fett's journey. He doesn't want to be like Jabba. He doesn't want to rule with fear. He wants to rule with respect. And throughout the movie, they keep, I think, developing Rodder, and we get the climax at the end where he's fighting the twins. I think that was... he was surprisingly... like MVP character for me. I was watching, I was like, this is guys.
He was like most improved.
Yeah, from my pre-movie expectations to like the end of it, I was like, I want to, and I hope we see more.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be too hard to put him in a show because of the CGI involved. And they said because they were making a movie and they have 3 years versus 1 year, they can really invest in his scenes. I think he would just be too tricky to put in a TV show.
Render, yeah.
So I really, really liked Rod of the Hutt a lot more than I was expecting. I was expecting to kind of be let down and be like, I feel like they're, bringing out a character people somewhat know to get people in. But I really, really liked Rod of the Hutt. He was a character I
think part of me would have liked more. Is it Hutties?
Yes, I agree. Yeah,
like, I'm going to be honest, my early Rod of the Hutt timeline's not great, but like I get he was like a baby when he was taken. Yes. So maybe his Hutties is not that good. I don't know. But
but they never said it. Yeah, they never do it.
He had like 2 lines. Like first when the Mando addressed him, and then second when he was with the twins.
Yes.
Everything else was
in basic.
Yes. So
I don't know. That was though. I think that's maybe a bit more for like general audiences.
Yeah.
To kind of connect with the character, because it might be hard to connect with the character.
Yeah.
If you're always reading subtitles.
I wouldn't have wanted that for the whole movie, and I think given his story, the basic makes sense. But at the same time, I would have liked a bit more, because I do think they kind of stopped the bass. I don't know if you noticed that. I feel like as the movie progressed, he had less bass.
Yes. Yeah. Because it was noticeable at the beginning, the bass.
And then in the middle, it kind of wasn't.
Interesting.
To me.
I didn't pick up on that.
To me, maybe I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But
talking about the Rod of the Hutt introduction, the bar scene, the bar fight was quite good, but I love when he cut that guy's horn off.
Yeah, I really like that as well.
Slashed it, held the gun.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Hog's breath. And I was like, whoa, this is like...
Yeah.
We're kind of... That was a moment I was like, we're doing some stuff here. There's a bit of sauce to this. And I love how they... Like, once again, a bit of world building around like the salt being a thing.
See, I like the world building, but I'm under the impression that they have ships.
No, because Mando, remember to get dropped in like stealthy? Like they didn't land.
Yeah,
they like
true.
Flew by, so I assumed there would have been like a blockade or something, but they're not allowed to fly in or out.
Because I was thinking, surely you just fly to Mando.
Sorry. Okay. We're going to keep that one in.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, let's just keep going here.
Well, I was going to... Surely you would just like fly to a planet where salt is like...
Yeah, and you just
not a commodity and import it, but
there's reasons. The whole point is like, you can't get stuff in or out. And then I like the oil refinement where it gives...
it puts it in the drink.
In the drink. I was like, all right, you're kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember in the movie we see the crime boss guy. Coin, yes. And we see him, and then I said to Amelia, I thought he was Commander Coin. I guess not. God, if I just waited 5 minutes maybe. Because we noticed he was in Mandalorian Season 3 when Moff Gideon's talking to the Imperial Warlords. We do see the guy from the opening sequence and Commander Coin in it. So I found the Colosseum sequence.
Yeah, that was pretty epic.
The chess pieces. So I don't know if you know this, but the chess, Chewie and Luke and 3PO and Han play in episode 4. It's called Dejarik, and there's multiple creatures and they do stuff.
I wanted to Google. I wasn't sure if that was like a French term.
No, so the Dejarik,
Star Wars
so that's
term.
why maybe they're doing Dejarik. So all the creatures in the game, the Colosseum guy got all of them in real life to fight Rodder. Yeah. So it was cool seeing those creatures for real, because obviously we've only seen them in the context of
That's
that
so
game.
funny. Because me, as someone who didn't know, I just thought that was like some
old
old world term for when you're like inundated.
Yeah.
Like I thought there would have been a term for 1v1 and a term for like 1v2, and then the 1v like 10 was called Dejarik.
Yeah. So it was cool seeing all the creatures for real, and they did. I noticed a few times because I liked in the chaos of like the animals started fighting each other, and they recreate a few of the attacks from the chess game. So it's kind of like one of them, he picks them up and like throws it over his head, and that's exactly what happens in episode 4.
But see, if you don't have this context, it's still just like I didn't know any of this, and it's still really cool.
I think that was how they balanced that well of like really rewarding deep fans, but if you're a modern fan like that,
it's just still like, oh wow, enemies.
Yeah, and I was, for whatever reason, like transfixed with this sequence of
they did it really well.
The Colosseum. I was when you think you've got two main characters, one of them's CGI, one of them doesn't have a face. And then you've got 8 other CGI practical creatures in a tight,
where you
small
don't really
location.
know their powers.
Yeah, you don't really know what they are beyond just like being big. They
little.
surprisingly choreographed it quite well, and you could follow what was happening, because I thought it would just get too messy too quickly and you'd just lose track.
I must say, I did also like when there were a few of those characters fighting each other. That felt very real.
That's what I like, because
how would they necessarily know?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, are they just going to it's like an 8v2? But no, I liked that they did that, like the electric guy would bite one and then you just smack him over the head. And I was like, oh, that's once again I was like, oh, they have put effort into this. Like they have thought about this and tried to do something new. So for whatever reason, you were saying the music was really good there. I can't remember the music of it. But I don't know, there's something about the choreography, the action, and I guess the music, the sound design, and a bit of tension, because you probably know Rodder and Mando will get out of it fine. But there's still, when you're in the moment, you're like, but how?
I think in the moment you don't necessarily know that Rodder will get out of it.
Yeah,
you can maybe assume.
I was like, dog, Rodder,
like I
will be
assumed,
fine.
but my level of comfort saying that both of them would get out was not the same.
Yeah,
like you can kind of assume, okay, it's half an hour into the movie, the Mandalorian's probably going to be fine, but this character that you only met 10 minutes ago, you know, the stakes are a bit higher for them maybe.
I think something else broadly with this movie, I get he's got Beskar, but Mando survived a little too much in this movie. Like when Rodder flattened him, I don't think the Beskar's stopping that.
To me, that checked out.
When I saw that, I was like, that's...
What doesn't check out to me is all of his head injuries. Because surely...
The concussions,
okay, if it's a helmet, surely he can still go like metal, this inside the helmet. And then he's
constantly getting hit in the head.
Like even when Grogu's like force pushing him into that little thing, I was like, that's a head. Like to me, that was more of a injury concern. Because the flattening, it's special. I know like we don't have any metal like that, but...
bullets, it doesn't stop compression.
But I feel like it stops everything.
I don't know. But then also been like, Mando gets stabbed by the dragon thing. He gets poisoned. He gets flattened. He's like Scott Sterling. He's just like the worst.
But then the poison didn't just get resolved either.
That's fair. Okay, there was a bit of lasting consequences there. Yeah. But I think there's sometimes I was like, all right, we'll let Mando get away with a lot here. But he's a main character. He's meant to be a bit of an action hero. Quick question. Comparisons to Indiana Jones, yes or no?
I didn't have that thought myself, but now that you say it, I think yes.
Yeah.
Like to me, it almost feels more like an Indiana Jones movie than a Star Wars movie. And I get that they have similarities for obvious reasons, but the kind of standalone nature.
Yep.
Like even I'm going to say trilogy of Indiana Jones. They are kind of standalone movies still. Like there's a
100%
through line to some extent, but this kind of has that same, like there's tie-ins to the bigger world, but at the same time, it can just be its own thing.
Yeah. I think another thing that made me feel like Indiana Jones was sometimes during like a fight, like I remember when you watch Indiana Jones and he's like punching a guy, you can feel it. And this movie at times I was like, I can feel the action. Like I can feel Mando, burn on a droid. And
it was a lot more like hands-on combat.
Yes, which I
definitely
appreciate
noticed.
It wasn't boring blast of fire.
Yeah.
Because there comes a point you're like, if there's 100 droids and 20 stormtroopers, he's just going to shoot.
Or even his jetpack. Like I really like his jetpack, but did he do, apart from when he was going down onto that planet,
he used it when he was chasing Rodder and the speeder.
Oh, yeah.
Which, that was an interesting segment. So after the movie, we talked to some people near us. And I was thinking during the movie was, so obviously all the Dajaric creatures escape. And then the movie very purposely shows the creatures causing havoc on the planet.
Yeah,
like, it shows each creature gets a moment where it shows it's throwing people around.
Yeah.
It's electrifying this person. It's eating this person. And Mando's just like, yeah, peace.
Yeah, I'm going with this
Not
guy.
my circus. Yeah, so that I think when I was like, this movie is fun, is when they're chasing Rodder in a speeder.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, this is silly, goofy, but not bad, silly, goofy, fun. Like, this is an action adventure movie. We've got a hut in a speeder being chased by a Mandalorian and a baby Yoda. What is going on? Which I really enjoyed.
I'll say on that topic though of him being in the speeder, I did feel he was quite a compelling character, Rodder, because his decisions felt very real. I was going to say human.
No, but you got him. Yeah.
Like when the Mandalorian was trying to break him out of the jail and he was kind of like, I've won every fight of my life. I have one left and then I'm going to be free. I don't want you to like ruin this at the last minute.
Yeah.
You kind of get where he's coming
He's
from.
like, I don't want to
because
go back to my auntie.
he doesn't have a reason to believe that. Like, I think he has a respect for the Mandalorian,
It was valid for
but
him
it was
not to
very
trust the
valid.
Mandalorian.
And then
Yeah.
at the same time, he's still a bounty hunter and he was going to go back to people who were going to kill him. So I kind of get why he ran away.
They could have made him a very flat, predictable character.
But they didn't.
But they didn't. I appreciate they made him
But then at the
consistent.
same time, I agree that it was non-predictable, but like it almost felt like they were more real decisions, not like movie decisions. Like,
Yes.
I guess you've brought me in. I guess I'll just like come with you back to Null
Null
Hutta. He
Hutta.
was kind of like, you're cool. You helped me get out of that fight, but
Yeah.
I kind of can't come with you.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. But yeah, I found it funny how Mando's, got a code, protect people, honor, and he just lets all these animals loose and he's like, that's just not my problem. Like, I don't care.
I was
But-
also thinking, sorry,
No, yeah.
with his code, this Rodder the Hutt now makes 2 where he hasn't followed his code. So with the child, Grogu,
Oh, yeah.
he was like,
interesting.
you're going to kill this little thing. I don't agree with that.
Interesting, yeah.
And he's done now the same thing basically for the exact same reason. So coincidence,
Interesting.
character
I didn't
trait,
pick up on that, yeah.
I don't know. But because he was very big in the series about like his loyalty to the code.
For the job.
Because if he
get the
gets
job done.
offered double or triple, he'd be like, no, because that's not what I do. Whereas
Yeah. Fair, yeah. That is.
there's another reason now why he hasn't done that.
And then we had the action sequence on the Imperial base where they get Commander Coin. I think I only saw this now. It could have been drawn out a bit more. I feel like it was very quick. Like for an Imperial warlord, one of the bigger ones, one of the most secretive ones, he had like 10 stormtroopers hanging out. Like I know Zeb took out like how many in a hallway, and Mando took out like 5 plus. Hog's Breath, I think his name is. I think they could have done a bit more about there being like real substantial defenses in like a fortress, and then it being hard to extract them. Like I feel like that sequence maybe could have been a bit like meatier and beefier, even have like 2 Death Troopers there to like put a bit of a threat. Yeah, and I found the sequence when they're on the speeders back to the ship. I found that was fun. That's when I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting a bit of Indiana Jones here of like a speeder chase. But I think that could have been a bit meatier, the actual fortress break in and break out.
I think that whole plot line was kind of the fake out of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I thought,
yeah.
based on the advertising, that like that was going to be the whole movie.
Yes.
Whereas that was, if my timing estimate is right, would be about half.
I think it was about halfway.
And then the second half was all of the aftermath of that, basically through the huts. And I get the impression that with their marketing, they didn't want you to know about the hut stuff. I know you said they had the
it was
scene
in it,
of
but I don't think you
the
know when it
X-wings
was.
on Null Hutta, like the environment.
Yeah.
But technically that could have happened when they were like talking to the twins the first time getting the assignment.
Maybe, yeah.
Like if you're going into a movie, you don't necessarily know that those scenes don't happen together.
Yeah.
So they kind of almost compressed that storyline. Like I didn't think it felt rushed, but I think, maybe the defenses being lower than you might expect allows them to wrap that up a little bit quicker.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Than they would have otherwise, for better or worse.
Yeah.
But
And then we get Commander Coin is returned to the New Republic base, and then Sigourney Weaver's kind of like, okay, you shouldn't have done it like that.
messy,
but
very messy.
I suppose, yeah. Yeah, that was not Marvel humor, but I was like, okay, yeah, we get it. You have your line.
I think it suits the character though.
Yeah.
Even like the demographic of the character.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
She's probably been through a lot.
Oh, so that one line is like, Mando got his, I'll bring you in warm or cold. I was like, look, it's a bit forced, but I'll allow it. Like, it's not really time and place for it, but I'll allow it. And then we get Mando goes back to Navarro.
Yeah.
Which my only small thing is we don't really get to see Navarro City.
True, and we
from
didn't
season
see
3.
Grief.
We don't see Grief
Karga
Karga because Carl Weathers unfortunately passed away a few years ago. So
yeah,
that's why I get maybe that's why they didn't want to show it because
that's fair enough.
You can't really have Navarro without Carl Weathers there. So I get maybe that's why they didn't want to show it. But I wish because like last we just saw IG.
True.
11 became the
Marshall.
So we could have had IG 11. Not that I need cameras, but I wish we just got to see like the town after season 3. How prosperous
the rebuild.
Is it? Yeah, the rebuild. Anyway, but we see Mando's home.
On your note of cameos, quickly, I kind of like that they didn't. Like, to me, that also made it feel more of like the standalone. It's a big galaxy. They're telling a story aside
cameos.
from the main.
Clone Wars flashbacks.
Continue.
You had Baby Yoda the Hutt. You could have had Anakin. Anyway, I didn't need it, but I was expecting a bit of sauce. But so we do go to Mando's home and we see his N1 starfighter. I thought we weren't going to see it in the movie. I thought we were completely done with it. He has it. He doesn't. I'm
glad it was still there.
So I wonder in future stories.
That's like the sports car.
Because I wonder in future stories if we're ever going to see it in action. Because
in fairness, it's not the practical.
I know, but like
I got the
consequences, man. Like we can't blow up the Razor Crest and have it be a character that shows Mando has to shed his past to embrace the future.
Yeah, but it feels like that's...
just go back to it.
It's like the Ferrari. Like, he had his car that he was happy with.
Yeah.
Like, think about someone like probably like our parents. Like,
yeah,
they've got their car.
The
people exactly.
Yeah, I know.
And then if that gets like, if it becomes a write-off and then they go, here, a Ferrari, you might be like, okay, it's really cool, but like it's not really what I wanted.
I can't move myself, a child, a purple alien, a hut, and
exactly.
a crime lord.
It's cool. It's fast. It looks pretty. I know. But at the end of the day,
I know
he's a dad. He needs his people mover.
I know that. Actually, rewatching the first beginning when they brought the Razor Crest, I was like, I don't. I know some people didn't like the Razor Crest being blown up because it's like really iconic, the ship.
Yeah.
Like back in season 1 and 2 were a thing. But I liked it because it showed to me
like change.
We're not going to be like, oh, the Razor Crest is marketable, we're not going to touch it. It's like we're going to no sacred cows, we're going to do anything we want. We're going to split up Mando and Grogu. Right. So I feel like season 2 for me, I liked the consequences in that season, and I feel like progressively they've been undone slowly to get back to where we were in season 1, beginning of season 2. Anyway. And then we get to chill in Mando's home for a bit until we see Embo. Actually, the way they introduced Embo the first time, we see him watching the plane come into Navarro, and then he stalks the house. I was like, this feels like Indiana Jonesy. Like we get the back of a henchman's head and then he appears to the heroes. I was like, that the way they introduced Embo, and I'm so glad for new audiences you don't need to know who Embo is to enjoy his
I was
character.
just like, who's this guy?
Yeah, obviously for Clone Wars fans there's a bit more meat in there, but I was thinking if I didn't know who Embo was, and even then I don't know him too well, but if I didn't know anything about him, they still introduced him effectively enough that made him cool enough that he was a bit of a threat. So, no, you play it. It's probably 3:15 or 3:20 or 3:30 right now, so probably yawning and just getting fatigued as we go on. But, so we see Embo's first scene and he attacks Mando's home. And that was a decent sequence. I feel like Mando maybe got taken out a bit too easily.
I was going to say, my only thing is, as someone who doesn't know who this bounty hunter is, I was like, that he really took out
the Mandalorian.
Like, I feel like I should know who this guy is if he can take him out that easily.
And I get it was a bit of a trick because then, like, Baby Yoda, one of these aliens, like, cried. But I feel like there should be a bit more of hand to hand, like what we got at the end fight when they were going blow for blow, and I was like, oh, they're evenly matched here.
Yeah.
I wish we saw a bit more of that early on. So from the beginning, the audience goes, oh, Embo's a threat where Mando might have to make a sacrifice or he's not going to get out easy if he's fighting Embo. And then Embo so captures Mandalorian and one of these aliens and they fly off. And then we have Grogu and these aliens then go into their little ship and they follow, which it was a fun little ship. And that's when they had the shot of the two as aliens and Grogu. I was like, yes, this is a real set. This is a tiny set with tiny puppets. And this feels like this feels like tangible. The film. Sorry, you're going to say.
I was going to say I found it kind of interesting that they didn't go to the rebel base.
Yeah, I
that's what I thought was going to happen. That Grogu was going to take their little ship
like he did
to
with
the rebel
Bo-Katan
base.
in season 3. Yeah, I assumed the same thing, but that kind of happens later in a different way, and we don't say it. And then we get to Nal Hutta. Mando's taken in. They take his helmet off.
Yeah.
Like I get Pedro Pascal's in the movie. We need him in the trailer. We need him in the marketing. We need to show his face. Because in season 3, they don't show his face, which is the first extended period of time where we don't really see it, except for maybe Boba Fett from memory. But the scenes of him without his helmet, I didn't get why he didn't need his helmet on. From a writing perspective, if he had his helmet on, the sequence takes place the same way. But I think
it was the character.
Yeah.
Like it was the fact that the Hutts like did it to shame him, I think they said. Like I agree, like
I feel like that's a convenience.
In terms of
we
combat,
want to show his face.
I agree.
Oh, yeah, by the way, it's not great for him to do it and the Hutts have one on him. But it never felt like if you're going to show his face, it's probably to do a big acting moment of him connecting with Grogu typically. And they didn't have any, like it was an action sequence with his helmet off. And that to me, I was just kind of go, well, it's underwater, so it's blurry. So they probably have a stunt double for a lot of it, which is it's great, it's fine. But taking Mando's helmet off is a core, fundamental part of his character is the part of the character is he has the helmet on, right?
Yeah.
That is the character. So to remove the helmet is to, and this isn't in a bad way, undo the character. So if you're going to take the helmet off, it needs to be a really compelling reason why we're doing it. And I don't know if it was the most compelling, thing to have a creature feature fight sequence, which I liked. I just think could have been done with a helmet and nothing changed.
But see, I agree with that statement that the sequence could have been done with the helmet, but I don't think that was the point. I think it was the character between the Hutts knowing the Mandalorian culture.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like, I don't think it was to make him more vulnerable or anything. And because you're right, he gets it back after only a couple of minutes. Yeah. But
yeah, that's what
having
But the scene later with
people
Grogu,
see him.
When Grogu's taken care of when he's passed out, he could have taken his helmet off then to like feed him.
That's what I thought was going to happen. I tapped you during the movie. When Grogu was making the little thing.
It was... Oh.
I thought because
her in the writing
because he wasn't getting better.
Yeah.
I thought Grogu was going to be like, I need to feed him and give him
off.
Water. So I'm going to have to take your helmet off, but I know that you don't want people to see you. So I'm going to cover you. I know that Grogu still would have seen him, which...
Whatever,
but at least...
Oh, that would have been
So I was
really
wrong, because that's why I was like, oh my God, I saw him building it, I was getting really excited.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
I didn't mind so he fought the 3 guys in the water, then he fights the big white dinosaur. I didn't mind, because obviously a tricky thing when you film underwater sequences is they can be really confusing to figure out what's going on. With the 3 guys, I feel like they did it decently, the choreography of...
That was enough, on the surface, I think.
Yeah, you got a bit of both. Then with the big white dinosaur, I was like, dog, you're not getting it. You're just not surviving this one. Don't know how to cut it to you, Dinjar, and this is it for you. And it was a decent action sequence. Obviously, Mando won't die, but you're like, how the hell is he getting out of this one?
I mean, I don't reckon he would have without Grogu.
No, he definitely wouldn't have. He definitely wouldn't have. And once again, he gets bitten in the claws of the creature, but he has his Beskar armor, which... despite having fangs around this. Anyway, it does pierce him a bit, I guess. So we do have that. And then, Grogu blows up the tunnel and the water goes through. And I didn't mind that. I was like, is Mando big enough for the tunnel based off what we've seen in other scenes? But they do set up earlier. These aliens go, wow, this is a really big pipe. So I guess they do,
True.
Chekhov's gun, the pipes. But when you see Grogu in the pipe, you're like, if he's that tall, Grogu's on the scales, I was getting confused.
Because on that note, I actually think he would have fit in that little ship.
Mando?
It wouldn't have been comfortable.
No, What?
If he was lying down, he would have hated it, but I think he would have.
I think the ship's this big.
It didn't look at when
No, I think
he was in
maybe because I've seen a lot of the
frame.
behind the scenes things of how
I feel like that frame where it's like him and Grogu and they're looking at the ship. I'm like,
his
I feel
helmet
like
wouldn't fit in the ship. I think maybe because I've seen behind the scenes, I know what the real scale is compared to humans.
To me, it looked like it would have been a tight fit.
No, Grogu barely fit. I reckon half of Mando would have fit in the length of it, and like his head would have fit the width.
Because I know when the little aliens and Grogu were coming the first time, it looked really squishy. But I kind of thought that was like a cockpit, and then there was the rest of it, and I was like, well, the rest of it's still small, but like he'd fit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway.
So, and then we have the sequence where Mando's fighting off a whole bunch of droids. No, the droid head is later, actually, when I'll bring that up when I noticed. Where he's fighting a bunch of droids. The music was very interesting. I don't know if you noticed when he's like fighting the droids. I
notice it there. I noticed the droids had costumes. That was what I noticed.
Costumes? Like capes?
Yeah,
I know. I liked it. It was very...
They were the ones... Are they the Clone Wars ones? The ones that are like...
Yes, the B1 and B2
Yeah,
droids.
they had like fur.
Yeah, I know. It was cool.
It
was really cool. And so Mando's fighting them. I noticed it wasn't like this big, massive action music. It was like he's probably going to lose this fight music. Of like he's,
okay, I did notice that.
Yeah, it's like,
the emotion
like
of it was very
last
clear.
stand kind of music.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, they're not going to kill him, but clearly he's not coming out of this one.
Yeah.
And then, so he passes out, and then
he was getting a bit lazy too. Like, understandably, but like with his fighting, like he wasn't careful.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, to no surprise, but Grogu doesn't fly with the Azalians. I think no one was shocked.
Yeah.
Just briefly, I think our cinema was okay-ish. Like,
I feel like I was the only one doing audience reactions.
I noticed. I remember there'd be times you were laughing, and I was like, no one else is laughing.
Or I'd be looking at Grogu, like when he blew up that grate and then there was the water going down.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that it was going to be like the water slide. Like I thought it was going to be where it's like the water just goes straight through the pipe. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to drown. Like I'm like, no one else is.
I noticed no one even laughed. And even I had moments like, because I think for me the shtick of Baby Yoda being cute has maybe worn off a bit, especially when you can tell that's what they're doing. But there were some parts I found actually endearing or tense or funny. But I feel like the audience wasn't really receptive. And obviously that's luck of the draw.
Were like 20, 15?
There's only 20, yeah. And look, it's all a lot of variables in who's in your audience. But if you've got midnight screening, typically it's people who care. Like we heard people talking about Thrawn.
We saw other people in shirts, not these shirts.
Yeah, in shirts. People talking about Thrawn and Ahsoka and Ezra, and people talking about other TV shows. So you're like, okay, if you're at a midnight screening, you probably...
You care, yeah.
But the audience wasn't given much. Because I wanted, when we talked about this now, I wanted to maybe give a bit of insight to what other people were thinking. So, but... I guess we couldn't tell, so we were the only audience reactions, really. And now this is when we get the Grogu of the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
Is when, so Din's passed out with his poison, and then Grogu gets like a 5-minute sequence.
Like 15.
15?
It was
maybe
quite
10.
long.
He gets a really decent chunk where he's the lead. He's not a supporting character. He doesn't have a single scene. He has a sequence.
Almost, for the most part, the only character.
Well, the only character, really.
Yeah.
And... I was shocked how good it was, how compelling it was.
It was giving like Shaun the Sheep.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm really drawn into this right now, even though that for the most part there's no dialogue.
There's no dialogue and you can't tell what his plan is, but you can tell he's trying to help. So they did a good job of setting up a few things. And he meets the guy in the bog in like
he was
the
cool.
shed.
And I liked that he wasn't evil.
I was like, oh God.
It's like, it's a big galaxy. I like that he's
just a nice guy. He's feeding him. He doesn't sell him out to Embo.
No.
Oh, something talking about the drive home. I was kind of like, why was Embo back in that? Like, I get he was asking the guy, hey,
have you seen
The Mandalorian? And like, when you, once again, Chekhov's gun, it's weird to bring Embo there if you don't do anything with Embo.
Like if
and
he
that
doesn't
guy in
find
Grogu.
them?
Yeah, if he doesn't find them
okay.
in the forest, or if the guy... I assume the guy in the forest would be part of the final fight. Like he'd reappear.
As in on our side?
On our side, yeah, he'd be on the
okay.
good guy's side. I thought he might like help Mando defeat the Hutts or something, but yeah, he got 2 scenes, I'd say.
Pretty
and good
substantial.
scenes. I like the character, once again, like
it was cool.
Practical creature, which is cool to see. And so that was a nice creature to see. And then we see, Grogu really, becoming his own. And I get when people said Grogu is his own character, because I feel like up until this point, Grogu had been a bit of the the side character. He's hanging out on Amanda's shoulder, but he leads it. The puppetry's really done well. I like he has this cane like Yoda does.
I thought that was cute.
I think it's a similar hook kind of on the top to Yoda, so very intentional. And then eventually Mando wakes up, which was a nice moment. And
that scene though where like Grogu was like curled up in his elbow going to sleep, I was like, God, he doesn't know if his dad's going to wake up.
He doesn't. Like, I know it, but he doesn't.
I was like, I think he is.
But then I was trying to figure out, like, if he's feeding Mando this, like, goop. Yeah. How do you make sure Mando doesn't choke?
Yeah.
Anyway, look, I mean, there's a lot of other things I'd have issue with in the Star Wars universe, if that's my biggest gripe. But I think I was like, he's not really removing his helmet to, like, do the pinch his nose and tilt his mouth up like the CPR.
Wash it down with some water.
Yeah. He's just kind of cramming like gel into his mouth and hoping it.
It's a pretty thick
somehow.
paste.
Yeah, and obviously it works somehow. So I was very surprised how well done the Grogu sequence was. I did quite like it. And then we get a assault on the Hutt base. So we get the big ship that Rota, who's been captured by the Hutts. They crash land in, and this is where I see the head. Like, oh my God, we got something. So one of the droids had K-2SO's head. Like the one that was when Mando crash lands, like a few droids come up to it, and the main one has K-2SO's head. So I was like, all right, we're drawing a bit from around the droid galaxy. And then this is another like action-heavy sequence of him on the LAAT pad, maybe, where he's like on the speeder thing, and he's like shooting them, and he throws things, bang, bang, bang. And I was like, okay, action. We're having an action moment, which I really liked. And then fighting the two big droids, the Guardian droids.
Yeah, that was a good sequence where Grogu's like
it. He's like he's
crawling
putting like an
around.
Ant-Man and Iron Man's armor. Maybe one's going a bit too quick. I never felt the power or I was only intimidated by the droids because of their size. I was never thinking they're really good combatants and Mando's going to have to really lock in and find a weakness. It felt like they may be defeated. They may be defeated a bit too quickly. Like we never saw them get a few good licks in on Mando to show, oh wow, these guys are...
Yeah, they mean business.
Yeah. And then Mando beats them, and then he gets them to the Hutt's
main
chamber,
hall, I guess,
which... Mando should have seen the ambush coming a mile away. Like if there were two Hutts on their own when they had 12 droids earlier in the movie. I was surprised Mando didn't
and that it
anticipate
took that
ambush.
long.
Yes, that as well, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where we get a really... I found quite a good sequence was Embo versus Mando. That was really well done. We had...
And I noticed the two of them were staying off that circle. Did you notice that?
Interesting. No, I didn't.
Like, because obviously early on when Mando drops down into it, so he's, I guess, figured out
not to go in there,
but that this guy Ember, I'm assuming, as being hired by the Hutts, or maybe just they're both bounty hunters and they're kind of smart. They were not fighting over that thing.
Interesting. That's pretty cool.
The Hutts, who know what's down there, were.
I like how the Hutts have like a pit. Like we've got the Rancor pit, we've got whatever the White Dragon pit is. They have their pits in front of their thrones, and then Grogu saves Rodder from his torture, and another thing we talked about on the drive home, I was surprised how clear it was the Hutt fight of who's who. I think because the twins have a distinct design and Rodder's a distinct design, so when the three of them are fighting, you can still tell which is which.
And you only really need to know who Rodder is because the other two are on the same team.
So I think they did a good job with that. And, Grogu taking down the wolf by making him fall to sleep. It's like we've seen that done before with the Rancor and
but maybe
kind
that's
of the
one of his
Mudhorn.
talents. We've seen the heel before as well.
But when it was happening, I was thinking, is he going to turn the wolf on their team? Because if they put him to sleep, we've done that before. So I was a bit like, okay, yeah, sure. But I liked how there was the three fights going on in the one throne room.
But you could still follow.
Yeah, you could follow each of them independently. So that was good. Embo does escape. He falls into the pit, but he does ultimately escape. I assume we're never going to see him again. We don't know, but... Yeah. And then we get Rodder and Grogu escaping, and then the New Republic X-Wings come in from as aliens. They kind of get a distress beacon out. And Mando's like, hey, blow up where I am right now. I don't know why they had
My
to blow
location.
it up, honestly. But
I can't give that order.
Yeah, exactly. And then we see our GOAT, the New Republic guy.
Hell yeah.
He's the New Republic guy.
I'd like to see him more. I know he's already in like a lot.
I know. Rangers of the New Republic, bring it back with him as the lead. Because he was good. In Mando season 3, he was a good character. He's a good actor.
Yeah, he is.
Compelling character who's like, there's something going on out there. We need to go beyond our jurisdiction to figure this out.
And it feels like another one of those characters where like it's a whole galaxy. Like, yeah, okay, you've been following the Force side. Like, you have like Luke and Leia, and I was gonna say Han. Well, actually, hey, Leia's not Force anyway.
Still,
but you know, like the original trio. But then there's also like the war side. Would you call it war?
Yes,
but, like rebel side. And although Luke is obviously a key part of that too, I'd be interested to see more of the people who are just like trying to do good in the, like they're not the chosen one, or they don't have any special gifts or talents. They're just, well, they're very good pilots and fighters, but you know, nothing like supernatural compared to this world.
Definitely. And so I hope we get more of him in the future. I was like, yes, big screen debut, my goat. And then we, Dave Filoni cameo first. From what I can tell, I feel like Jon Favreau pressures him into being into this stuff.
Really?
Yeah. I think when you look into interviews, I think he doesn't really like being in it. He kind of gets like forced into being in it, which is kind of funny. And so we see, Sigourney Weaver, she is Blue Leader. And Blue Leader was in Rogue One, but I think he died during the Battle of Scarif. So obviously she's been Blue Leader, I don't know how long for, since episode 4. Apparently this character, what's her name again? Colonel
something, I think.
So Sigourney Weaver, apparently her character is meant to be around the whole Galactic Civil War from episode 4 onwards.
Yeah.
I wish we maybe got a bit more of her backstory about when she got involved.
She seems like a cool character.
Yeah, what battles was she a part of? Was she on Alderaan or Yavin or Hoth or Endor? Anyway, and then I was pretty satisfied with that X-Wing sequence.
They did it well.
They did a good job of showing the power of the New Republic, which they did that in The Mandalorian. A bit of like, the New Republic is a force.
Because I kind of didn't know what to expect there, to be honest. Like at first I was like, the Hutts seem pretty powerful.
Yeah,
like,
I know, right?
They're obviously physically
base.
powerful, so I kind of assumed that would translate into like, what do you call it, like industrial power, guns, basically. And then the fact that it didn't, or maybe that it did, but the rebels were just Republic were just that much better.
Yeah. So I liked the New Republic bit we got at the end. Yeah. And then, the Marvel one-liner, and she's like, hey, Zeb, can you take in the trash? And it was like, all right, okay, all right. Like, they've barely survived a bombing and been poisoned, living in a forest for days. Like, maybe let's chill.
I'm curious what that time frame was.
I think it was 2 days.
Okay.
Which...
That's a long time.
That's a long time for these aliens to travel to the New Republic base and... Yeah, because I feel like if the New Republic found out Mando was being held by the Hutts, that would have been done very quickly. Yeah, it wouldn't have been it would have been like a few hours, but
But I was thinking for him to just be unconscious, like lying on the ground. Like,
there's a while.
I mean, Grogu did a good job.
He did a good job taking care of him.
But at the same time, if you had your like heat map, like what the Mandalorian has, you'd find him. So.
Exactly. So that actually is very true. I didn't think of that. And so then they take them back to the New Republic base. And then, Mando's like, hey, Rod, I'll get you a new home. And then Rod's like, I am home. That isn't the dialogue, but,
you get the gist,
You get the gist, and Zeb's like, hey, I
can find something that fits.
Let's go on to the Zeb and Rodda show, I think I would love to see whatever that story is going to be of Rodda. I want to see what Rodda does. He'd be so... Like, how interesting that is that the son of Jabba the Hutt, the most ruthless crime lord, is helping the New Republic take down, like, the Empire. Maybe in the Edge of the Empire Mandoverse movie, we might get Rodda as, like, a supporting character, and Luke Skywalker is working side by side with Jabba's son. Could you imagine that?
He'd be okay with that, though.
I reckon he would. Yeah. I would like to see that. So, I think, I hope we see more of Rodda, and then at the end we have... Mando going to Grogu, hey, you can press the hyperdrive button, which is probably, I don't know if that's them trying to say to the audience, Grogu's leveled up.
Yeah. He's officially an apprentice.
Yeah, and then...
he's not a foundling anymore.
He's not a foundling. Yeah, he's been an apprentice since Mando season 3.
Since the end of season 3.
True.
But we haven't seen that yet.
That's fair, With we get I like this suit up sequence. It's like a blaster.
And when he was doing it by himself.
The one detonator.
So
the
cute.
I know. That's when I was like, you're doing Grogu cute, but it's low-key working.
Like,
it's kind of working, yeah.
I would have done it too.
Yeah.
So.
But I think I wish we maybe got 5 or 10 more minutes of wrap up at the end of.
Fair, yeah.
You know, if you've got Ahsoka Season 2 coming out, and you've got Heir to the Empire movie, and you've got Commander Coin, who's meant to know all this intel about the Empire now.
What's the information that he gave?
They should have shown like Sigourney Weaver in an interrogation with him being like,
in a post-credit scene.
"Where's Thrawn?" And he's like, "I'm not telling you." She's like, "Tell me." And he's like, "He's on Dathomir." And then we get,
or even if we don't see him, but if the information is just conveyed.
Yeah, I wish we just got something more like her saying, "Oh, we've interrogated him," and you know, he told us that the Hutts were working with the Empire, but he also said there are Imperial remnants.
Something bigger is
happening, and they're trying to bring back the Empire. Because kind of, what's the point of having this? You know, they build up Commander Coin as being like, no one knows who he is. He's so knowledgeable. He's so powerful. They capture him, but we don't learn anything new from him.
Like, directly.
Like, we knew the Hutts were working with the Empire. I don't think that was like a, oh my God, bombshell plot twist. I think it was like, well, bad guys work with bad guys.
But I kind of thought they were
kitchen reveal.
Independent bad guys.
No, they are, but, you know, the Empire working with the Hutts, I wasn't too...
It wasn't groundbreaking.
Like, whoa, this is the ultimate betrayal.
Yeah.
So I just wish we got a bit more of Commander Coin maybe setting up whatever the future... I know they want to be self-contained, but you got to feed the fans a bit. And even if... Then I think non-fans would, I think, be fine if they go, hey,
if there's a couple lines.
Over here. And, yeah, so I think... That's what I mean by non-consequential, but killing the twins... The son of Jabba refusing the throne and blowing up Nal Hutta, like the Hutt throne on Nal Hutta, where most of the Hutts were. There's a massive power vacuum. Not just, you know, in Boba Fett where he takes over Jabba's area.
Yeah.
It's the entirety of the Hutt.
Because that's Tatooine, though.
That's just one planet.
Yeah.
The Hutts are across the galaxy.
And this is like their planet.
This is their headquarters where all of the Hutts live.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was just them. Like when we saw that reptile-looking guy who ended up being cool.
Yes.
I was like, is he another bounty hunter?
No,
I was kind of like, what's he doing here? But
so in Clone Wars you do see Nal Hutta, and that is where like the Hutt Council kind of exists. And I'm just kind of surprised, you know, that I feel like it's one of those things to a real nerd. It's the most consequential thing they could have done.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of writing, I don't think they're going to do much with it in future. They might offhandedly.
Yeah.
Because they're the major crime family along with the Pikes, and now they've been decimated.
Are the Pikes family?
No, they're not.
Oh, but
like
planet is it like what planet are they from?
We saw it in More Shadow Lord.
But does it have a name?
I think it does, but I can't remember it.
Irrelevant.
And I think I'm worried they might not ever address the implications of decimating the Hutt family. But
do you need to, though? If there are no implications? Like, if it just means they're not around anymore.
I think it's one of those things, what's the point of having a connected story if you're not going to connect the story? Like,
but
if you don't bring
it up. This is a non-connected story.
Yeah, but like, come on. It exists in the context of it itself.
I think you fell out of a coconut tree.
Exactly. And I get that. Yeah. I really wonder how many people would pick up on the Mando's dynamic with Grogu if you haven't seen the show.
Yeah.
Like, they don't tell you the backstory of how they've met. They don't tell you anything about their previous adventures. So I wonder how connected you'd feel to the characters throughout the movie.
Because they have a lot of backstory. And a lot of rapport building.
Definitely.
Particularly given that Grogu doesn't speak. I think you do have
that
to
was
learn
my
their
one prediction that
mannerisms.
didn't come to fruition. He didn't talk. He nearly said no.
He's communicating better, but non-verbal communication.
Our child. Like
he's very clear, talking. Like...
Or yes, yeah.
But...
Yeah.
No words yet.
So, main takeaways. It's what I expected. It was fun. Not revolutionary, and that's not a bad thing. Biggest surprise was Rod of the Hutt, Jeremy Allen White.
Actually kind of being base.
Low key, good, like a character you can get behind. Decent performance. I think the CGI was pretty serviceable for the character.
Yeah, I was going to say I never questioned it. I only questioned it when they were at that Imperial base. And, you know, when they're like hiding behind that sand dune, then I was like, only one of these people is real right now, and it's the Mandalorian. Anyway,
yeah,
continue.
that's kind of fair. Yeah.
Otherwise, it was very good.
Otherwise, that was another
Yeah.
good surprise, and pacing was pretty good.
I think very good. They covered a lot.
Did it feel like one season squished into a movie? Because that's the biggest thing people talk
Yes.
about. Yeah,
But
I agree.
That's a good thing to me. We haven't had a season in a long time, so if we can cover the same amount of ground, then...
But then we could have fleshed out the story a bit more if it was...
Yeah.
Obviously, they would have only had a year, so they probably wouldn't have done... I think the original scripts were about Thrawn and connecting it to Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I think it was the original
I'm
plan.
glad they didn't, to be honest.
Oh, me too. I don't think it
Yeah.
would work for
No.
their intention of making it a
Bringing
very
Star Wars
accessible
back to
movie.
cinema,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I guess that's the big...
Oh, will it? Yeah.
the bigger, broader question, like the industry question is, does this bring back Star Wars like a numbered movie would? I think no. And that isn't to damn the movie and say the movie sucks, the movie's terrible, whatever people are going to go online saying about the movie, about how it's not getting numbers. I think it's a good movie people will enjoy. I think it'll be fun if you see it on a random Tuesday afternoon where there's cheap tickets. You'll have a fun time. I just don't think there's going to be a buzz online for months about this movie.
Yeah.
This is a movie people are analysing. They're thinking what's going to happen next. And once again, numbered movies have that privilege of having a trilogy of important characters to flesh it out, and they know these are movies that define a massive franchise.
And they don't have to tell a whole story in one movie.
And they weren't setting that out to do that in this movie. It's very clear that they're not setting out to be a numbered movie in this film. But I just think when I've said it to death to everyone I know, if Starfighter was the first movie in cinemas where it's a disconnected story, but genuinely disconnected with A-list actors that bring people in, that could have been more effective as the first movie back in 6 years than The Mandalorian and Grogu 3 years after the last season. It's not really connected to the show at all. Who's the movie for? Because I think that before the movie I was confused about who's it made for, because they make it clear the movie is for new audience members and for pre-existing ones, which to me always says it's more for new people. But new people, when they see the title and the poster and the trailers, are going to go, I feel like I don't know what's going on here. Or even if they don't have to know what's going on, they might think they do need to know what's going on.
And then don't go.
And then they just kind of go, well, I won't watch it. Or there were some sequences I was like, this might do numbers on Disney Plus, I think.
Okay.
I think people will come out to see it on
Yeah.
Disney Plus when it's free and you can watch it at home at your own pace.
Yeah.
When you can watch it at your own pace and in the comfort of your own home. I think
if you're not paying
it might
for,
do well there.
4 or 5 movie tickets if you've got
And
younger
popcorn
family.
and drinks. But I think my corporate franchise concern is this doesn't move the needle enough to send a signal to shareholders, executive branches.
To keep doing this.
Yeah, to go, movies is where Star Wars belongs. Because we know it is well documented. Disney is very reactive when it comes to this stuff. They did the sequels. People don't like movies because Solo didn't do well. Let's do TV shows. TV shows do well. Let's make everything that was meant to be a movie, like the Obi-Wan show, into a TV show. TV shows aren't doing well now. Let's pivot back to movies. We're doing a movie of a character who's inherently a TV character, and this is what we're trying to push when it's really not the right time to do. We're not maybe focusing on the right markets here. And this movie, I assume from any projections, is going to underperform. That once again, just because there's poor box office performance does not mean it's a bad movie, and good box office performance does not indicate a good movie. Let's keep that in mind. But I think if they see this movie either just breaks even or doesn't break even, which is worse if it runs at a loss, they're going to go, movies don't work. We need to pivot back into whatever the next pivot is.
Yeah.
I hope they
Theater?
don't. I hope... Sorry?
Stage shows?
Stage shows. Oh, I'll say it. But I think I have faith in Dave Filoni, though, to stick the course of, no, we need to commit to, if Obi-Wan's a movie, it's a movie.
Yeah.
So we're not
changing based on...
Yeah, and I hope they stick to their guns, because I get the pressure of, if someone's saying, hey, we're launching Disney Plus, we need 5 shows in the next 3 years.
You need people to renew the subscription.
Yeah, so. I get it. But then if TV shows aren't working, you want to push movies now, don't look at one movie performing poorly and then go, movies aren't working.
Yeah, when it might be more complicated.
It's a bit more broader than that. So That's why I think Starfighter would be a better litmus test of what is the consensus on Star Wars when you have a new thing anyone can see. I think that would have been a more interesting test of box office and critic reception. So that is my more like out of sight of the movie commentaries.
Yeah.
I don't think the movie has enough hype moments, or I think that's what I mean when it doesn't change the status quo. Is people aren't going to come out of the movie going, you have to see it. This isn't
because I guess you don't.
This is you can wait to see
I
it.
thoroughly recommend it, but you don't.
I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say you need to see it as soon as possible before it's ruined for you.
Yeah.
Whereas other movies, you'd go, if you
Opening
hear
weekend
a spoiler,
right away, yeah.
this will ruin the movie. You need to see it as soon as possible. This one is like, hey, you can see it in a week, month, and a year. You'll still get the same level of enjoyment out of it.
In saying that, though, I think that makes it more timeless.
Yep, I agree.
I'm thinking back to Infinity War and Endgame.
Yep.
I'll be honest, when you were saying, is it made for existing fans or new fans? I feel like Infinity War Endgame was very much existing fans.
Yep.
And at the time, particularly of Infinity War, I wasn't a Marvel fan, so I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I think I ended up watching Infinity War on a plane for the first time because I was like, no, I need to watch all of Marvel and I haven't seen all of Marvel, so I'm not going to watch it. Whereas this one's kind of the opposite, that you don't actually need anything. You'll get more out of it.
But
do
people know that they don't need anything? That's the tricky part.
Now they do.
Now they do, because you've watched the spoiler
Exactly.
segment. You're someone who hasn't seen anything.
You
haven't seen any Mandalorian and Grogu stuff ever before, and you've come this far into the spoiler segment, and you're going,
maybe I'll see that movie.
To me. Hey, if you're watching it, comment. Let us know. I don't know if that person's out there.
But to wrap up my point,
please,
Infinity War's no shade to the movie, but I wouldn't call it timeless.
Shade to Infinity War.
I think it's once you've seen it, you've seen it. A lot happens. It's a big the unexpected happens, but once you've seen the unexpected, every time you go to watch it again, you know what's happening.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it's if I just want to sit down on a Saturday afternoon, rainy day, I would happily put on this movie. I'm never going to pick Infinity War for that. You know?
Oh, okay. But it's different vibes.
And that's different moments. Neither are better or worse. Sometimes you want to sit down and get
a meaty movie, and that's what Infinity War is.
But that's what I mean by timeless. I would sit down and watch Indiana Jones. Yeah. I'm not going to sit down and watch Endgame either. Yeah. It's a
same fair thing. Enough. Yeah, no, that's fair. So I think those are the two things that I think makes me think it might hold back their movie ambitions is there's not enough crazy moments for people to post on Twitter, hey, before people spoil it, you have to go see it straight away. And I think once again, it being a pre-existing character, we've just had a bit of a break since we've last seen them. Makes it a bit trickier.
That's the most disappointing part. Yeah. Which I get. Movies don't just happen, but
overnight. But this should have been a 2024 movie.
Probably.
It should have been a year after the TV show. Yeah. So I think that's most of our thoughts on it. Once again,
I'm ready to go to bed.
Music was fantastic. Music really was highly impressive.
I think I want to listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah,
again.
I really liked Rodder's theme, the Colosseum theme.
Yeah.
And the planet
Shikari.
theme, Shikari. Yeah, the synth, the 80s synth.
To me, it was Tron. You said Blade Runner.
Yeah, I think a bit of mix of both.
Yeah.
I think, once again, score's great, but it feels like you're talking about John Williams. It's fork found in kitchen. Ludwig's
we
an
knew
amazing
it was going to be good.
Cool, what's new? But still, it is a treat to get some new scores.
Yeah.
They really did the Grogu theme a lot. They did that theme quite a bit. And obviously, Mando's theme, they did it quite a bit. Otherwise, I think that's my main takeaway from the movie. So I would recommend seeing it.
Yeah.
Overall, I'd recommend seeing it. You don't have to rush to see it, mind you. Not you have to go see it right now, but I would recommend people see it. If you can afford it, see it in IMAX. Because we didn't.
Yeah.
There are some sequences you're watching okay.
I can see what they're doing here.
I can see what you're trying to do here with the white monster.
I'd also say, kind of digressing, I felt it maybe could have been PG. As in, I felt like you could take the family to that movie.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it's it's got an M rating, but it doesn't mean kids can't see it. I think there'll be some scarier sequences and a bit of violence, but never violence to the point of confronting or being I think there's some violence where you go, ooh, but it's not actually.
Or a couple, I jumped one or two times.
Yeah, a few scary bits, but.
You wouldn't take, obviously, very
child,
small people.
like a 2-year-old. Yeah.
But like I think primary school kids could still really enjoy that.
If
under
they're able,
appropriate supervision.
if you know that they're
family
I think it
decisions,
is family, despite the
Yeah.
M rating here in Australia.
Yeah.
So I wonder what the legacy of the movie will be in like 10, 15 years time. Is it your Saturday afternoon? Let's chuck on a Star Wars movie.
When you say 10, 15 years as well, sorry. Because they mentioned that the Hutts live for hundreds of years, which I didn't know. Maybe everyone else knew that. But I was like, are they like setting up Grogu,
Rodder Adventures
as like
a duo?
The duo whose lifetime is not that of most other characters in Star Wars. I don't
They
know.
can have them cross over with everyone. Hell
Like maybe they could do a time jump in the future.
True.
Where Mandalorian is no longer with us.
I was actually thinking that when they had Mando passed out, I was thinking, are they ever going to kill this character?
I don't know if they'd
gonna
kill
see
him
him
in like a combat sequence, but I could see them showing us further in Grogu's lifetime such that Mandalorian is like old.
Okay. Because I assume Pedro won't play this character forever. I don't know if it's a lifetime. I think he's probably got another like 5-10 years maybe, but I don't think this isn't when he's 80, like a Wolverine situation. But I do wonder because like Mandalorian's one of the biggest characters right now, and I think killing off Mando would be a massive move. So that's for a future movie or TV show.
Yeah.
So overall, pretty good.
Enjoyable.
What I expected. Enjoyable. Good fun.
Yeah.
Nothing revolutionary. It's not a bad thing. A lot of love put into the movie. Amazing score. Any other closing remarks?
Get to
I think
bed.
it's time to go to bed.
I think. Yeah.
So, thank you for listening to another episode of Cast the Whills, our first midnight premiere review episode. Wow, I'm really tired. It's hard to remember the outro right now. So you're just going to have to work with me here. You can find us on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok.
Maybe you should put on the screen now the current time.
Yeah, the current time that we're recording is
and then do like
4 a.m.
a post-editing time.
Yeah, actually, and then I'll put at the time that I'm finishing editing this video, and then it'll probably be another hour or two until it's uploaded. So you can work with me here. All right, I'll try the outro one more time. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok. Bang, I did it. And if you follow us on any of those platforms, you're officially, I need to go to bed, officially a guardian of the Whills. Until next time, may the podcast be with you.
Good night.
Good night, and this is the way. Bye.